to Rise of Legends LP. And Giacomo is now ready to face in for the last time and get rid of the threat and the menace of the Cuotl once and for all. Yeah, so last time Giacomo faced Czin in a skirmish type map. He was able to beat him pretty handily thanks to Untitled and other heroes who was able to silence him and contain his power. And now Czin is on a 0-2 streak. I lost twice already and is now he's isolated in his capital. Even his territory strength has gone down from 9 to 8, probably because there's no territory to offer him any reinforcement. And our army has grown to include 2 Sun Idols, 1 Death Spear, and 2 Death Snakes. Most important players could have tried to replace the Cuotl fighter, but why bother? On the hero front, we have upgraded our heroes, at least the ones that I was used to using, and yeah, the heroes that I favor the most are all level 5. Yeah, Czin, God of Death, he is the one. He's the one with the cowl. If the mysterious aura about him that does not show his face, and the cowl, is it some kind of like a rock or some kind of a part of his armor? I don't really know. Is it playable? Yeah. Well, right now he's being threatened by Giacomo from the north. He's blocked by Sea to the east and south, and to the west there's a untrespassable mountain ridge with a deep ravine. Kind of looks like some kind of something had made a deep gash in the land, ending up in where the Czin is right now. But that gash is a bit too humongous. Yeah, I always thought that Lunar Scars is where supposedly the Cuotl ship has crash landed. Apparently the map that we played didn't really show that particular feature, that there should be a lot of gash or a lot of landmarks that suggest that something big had fallen, but now I see it that yeah, so we are taking the Kahal, the Battle of the Gods. So the Death God, leader of the Coma Gods, has undertaken a construction project of impossible scope. The fallen sage is a mouth which can speak to the stars. I'm not sure what will happen should the project be completed, but it is clear that Death God will do anything to reach that end. We will cast down the Death God, destroy his device, and rid our world of these abominations once and for all. And there's a device in the middle. I think that's the device that kind of flew away from Ezekash after we conquered Sabu, a dark version of Sabu, and returned him to the normal version. And yeah, it was also attacking us. Yeah, and Abomination. Speaking of Abomination, Giacomo himself is half Abomination, half man. I don't know what kind of state he is in, but now I think the need for vengeance, avenging his brother and his friend and his people is going to be greater than any of the physical deformities that he's undergoing. Alright, so there it is. With I think that the little artifact beside the big device is probably the one that Doge used to retrofit his mech arm.
By 3 barriers of energy.
3 barriers, okay.
Each energy barrier is powered by 2 power junctions around the dish.
Of course, yeah. So this is a big dish.
Reinforcements will arrive through the 2 entrances on the side.
So there are entrances also? That's pretty interesting.
Our forces have been split into 2 armies. 1 on each side of the dish for a 2-pronged assault.
Okay. Yeah, the entrances look like the Pantheons, or that there were, if you remember, neutral sites for producing cook fighters. And as we check the quest, it says that we have to destroy the power nodes. There are 3 sets of power nodes, a pair of power node that make up the set, and this then a pair of power nodes supply power to the barriers. And the first node is basically the closest to us. The second node, the second closest, and the third basically at the opposite end of the map from where we start. Excuse me. So we need to go there one by one and basically synchronize our movement and take over the power nodes to destroy the barrier. And we have a reward as well, 2 hero point units. I don't really know what's the use for it, since I don't think we have any use for any hero upgrades after this mission's over. Or I guess only for people who will be crazy enough to destroy Czin first, well, before taking on either of the other gods. That's definitely a possibility if you just make a beeline for Czin and try your luck against all the circumstances that would make it possible. And you have to probably face at least 2 gods at the same time. And I don't really know how the narrative would work after you destroy Czin. Maybe it's going to be just, I guess usually you have to probably go back and face the rest of the gods, but yeah, I don't know whether the game designers actually accommodated that kind of playing, but still interesting. So the structure that you see is called dish hatch, just like a hatch, and serves as a defense mechanism. And you see Aerie here, Aerie's group. Kind of weird perspective, kind of disorientating. It's more lower to the ground than yeah, than compared to where Giacomo is.
Cuotl gain access from this location and many like it. If we can destroy them, we can lessen their numbers.
So this is actually a supply depot for the Cuotl enemy. They can probably create any kind of unit for their force. And here Aerie is taking and making a move to the dish hatch to the south. You can see that the location of these dish hatches by the sort of marks on the minimap. It looks like a city location mark, but it is actually where the dishes are. And the Ares group have far more units, and I think it also has 1 more hero. And Giacomo is able to, Giacomo's group. Strangely, Giacomo's group doesn't have Giacomo in it. That is strange. And dish hatches can create, oh, excuse me, the lines, the blue turquoise lines, turquoise. Excuse me, I cannot really pronounce anything. Yes, these blue lines indicate where we can track and find the power nodes. So it's like a guide for us to follow and locate the power nodes.
We will need
and here we are met.
The threat from the skies.
So we meet these air units, fossil fighters, and make a short work of our own fighter, Rat. I should have replaced him with something anti-air. Probably 2 more guardians would have been more useful if I was able to bring them in. And we have all these domination powers. If you see at the top row of icons, you can see that there are different abilities that we can bring in at any time. And peace, you can make a temporary peace with the Cuotl force. Yeah, Ares group is having a pretty good time facing really light resistance. And you can see the Dark Walkers trying to throw their projectiles and making a really short work with the Coastal Fighter. And Giacomo's group is smaller because
the shield
other
wall
heroes.
is flickering. Quickly, take down the power node on the other side.
Alright, Giacomo's present, but I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is right now. He's like shouting from someplace else, and yeah, it's kind of funny. How is this urgent? There's a really big urgency in his voice. Although that doesn't really matter. I mean, you can probably destroy the power nodes every time you really please. Okay, so we destroy 1 set of power nodes, powering the first barrier. And you can see that there's no light emitting from the barrier post, and then the blue line has been deactivated. There's no more blue on the line. And yeah, you can see that one quest is completed.
The first shield wall is down. The next 2 will surely be guarded more closely.
Oh well, why don't you help us? We can certainly use your help. I mean, And it's also strange that air units cannot get through the barrier. I mean, the walls in of itself seems to be, low enough for the air units to squeak by, but I should have tried it. But apparently you can't. Yeah. So yeah, Ares group has definitely more heroes. I think one more hero made up of Dakla, Eri, of course, Kakula, and Sabu. So bringing these heroes in, bringing a lot of different units along with the summon. And already the enemy Cuotls are counterattacking. Try to take our dish hatch back. And this particular combination, Death Snake, covered by Sentinels, provide for some potent offensive force, very fearsome. And if you can see, I purchased some mercenaries from the dish hatches. It costs 50 energy. And you don't have any cities, so you might ask, how do we get extra timonium and energy? In Ares' case, wealth. Well, you get more by just destroying units. Similar to one of the alien size research powers. There you gain some amount of timonium by destroying the troops. And also probably on the Vinci side as well. I think that was called I don't know what it's called, but I think it had to do with that we can scavenge the part from the diseased and the broken machines. We can gain some timonium out of it. So we gained the second hatch, and our mercenary was successful in driving back the first foray of the counterattack. And in the south, there are Sun Jaguars instead of Death Snakes. The Sun Jaguars are kind of weaker melee unit, and yeah. Giacomo's force is Demenor, Endermalek, and Yuntash. Pretty interesting makeup of heroes. Yeah, we follow the line here, and the entrances seem like we are transporting troops by air. So it's called Moon God entrance. Well, I guess, yeah, here you can see the cursor is just dying off. I don't know why. Very strange. I don't think it's a timed kind of unit, but it just die off, I guess, when there's nothing for them to fight. Very strange. And basically all our heroes are present, except for Giacomo, and that means that all our units that we have are basically performing at their top capacity, top peak efficiency. And I'm making some mistake here, although I'm bringing the cat, one of the abomination powers, that creates berserkers. And taking over another dish hatch, the easy thing to do, now that we are used to facing the sentinels and whatnot. Yeah, the perspective change is kind of jarring, to say the least. But I don't think I mean, this is called dish hatch, so it might be possible that where we are right now is actually a very, very huge dish, the communication network dish. And we're just skimming the surface right here, and then the hatches are where the enemies from the bottom are trying to climb out of. So that's a pretty interesting design. I mean, we are fighting on a huge dish. Yeah, we are meeting a bit more, I guess, a bit more tougher resistance here. And yeah, I should have done a better job of engaging more of my hero units into the battle. Just gonna stop your play here, as I am known to be doing, being sloppy and undisciplined. But yeah, it only means that I need to basically choose a group and click on one place, and they will probably find their place to attack on their own. And Giacomo's having some financial trouble of fixing these hatches and that producing Sun Idols just took a lot of toll on the finances here. Need to defeat more troops, but it's kind of hard to do that without any more troops to their group. Already kind of lacking in manpower. Yeah, Ares group is having a pretty good time. They are just like clockwork going into the second set of power nodes. Oh yeah, you can see that yeah, these death snakes are continually harassing our troops. So I create mercenaries and I also use mind control to turn one of the snakes, and that kind of evens our odds. You can see that snake is really taking our Sun Idol, and most of its health is already gone. So yeah, probably it's an upgraded version. And if you can see on the right hand side, there's a timer actually, with what appears to be a moon backing the timer base. And it's actually called the end of the world. Yeah. And if you choose Ares, turns the time elapsed is indicated in yellow, Giacomo red. Nice design point, I guess. What it does is, after each allotted time has passed, which is 60 minutes in this case, the end of the world will happen. Something's gonna happen that is going to trigger the apocalypse. And I don't think I'll be able to basically restart the mission after that. Maybe. Haven't tried. I'd like to see what happened. But yeah, end of the world will probably preclude me from just taking a turn and gain the resources during the turn that would have been produced. And shore upping our forces to attempt again to defeat Czin. And the end of the world probably is going to be just that, the end of the world without any kind of possibility to come back. And we can also fail by losing the entrance point, the structures that look like Pantheon. I guess that kind of stops the flow of troops from reinforcing you. So that's a bad news. Yeah, our Death Spear was just destroyed there. I mean, Untouched didn't have any time to use his resurrection ability. That's a shame, really. I mean, I just wasn't able to use Untouched's resurrection ability there. I mean, yeah, just in the nick of time. And Giacomo's force, being kind of outnumbered here, also faces a much heavier and much more advanced
Second
resistance.
shield wall is flickering. The power node on the other side must fall.
Yeah, Giacomo, if you notice where our troops are right now, I mean, you might have seen the kind of predicament our troops are in. Yeah, well, destroying the power node will come in due time. I mean, you still have plenty of time, really. And the Lenora is throwing bowling balls at the...
Anything I have known.
I don't know what Cuotl was mentioning, but he probably would have seen this crazy amount of puzzle fighters and maybe a Storm Disc. Oh, actually, just turned Storm Disc using mind control, but I was attacking it first, and after it turned, it didn't have enough hit points and was subsequently killed. So yeah, too bad. And here we have Moon Gorilla. A lot of things are happening here. Wow, it's just mind-boggling how much action it is. The mission is packed with. Moon Gorilla is probably the semi-boss kind of a character with heavy melee damage and trample. Sort of your souped up Sun Idol on steroids kind of unit. And strangely enough, I don't think I noticed there's a power node just north of where Andromelic was, and I think I got distracted by, like, I don't know what I was distracted by. I mean, just bypassed the node right there, just staring my face. And here are, of course, the usual combination of death snakes and sentinels. Yeah, I mean, I was like attacking it, but somehow I bypassed it, or I just sort of stopped attacking it and moved on. That's really strange. And Ares doing really well. The Split Force again combined. I don't think she has lost many troops here. Yeah, so Giacomo has a paltry force defending his entrance. Not a good sign. And I just ordered that meager, whatever meager defense I had, and ordered it to actually attack or take back the dish hatch being captured. So that was not a good idea either. And I didn't use waypoint to sort of like to maneuver my force to not directly engage the death snakes. So that's third mistake. Should build more force around the entrance with some nice mix of ranged and melee units, and should have kept destroying units. Oh yeah, here is another moon gorilla on the north side of things. Moon gorilla coming to us with moonwalking, a weird animation, and Endermelic uses his glass ability for...
Your oppression ends now. We shall be the instrument of your demise.
Instrument of your demise. Okay, Cuotl kind of feeling cocky now. Of course, he's in Ares group, and Ares group has been just trampling the enemy on her side. And this moon gorilla is actually in some kind of animation loop. I think it's a bug. Just it's not doing anything, but he's trying to get out of the situation there, but to no avail. Yeah, Lenora is the only saving grace here. She's probably very effective. She's pretty good against air units. Wow, she did produce some salamanders as well. Blasting the Cuotl with fire, and created Death Snake here just to defend, but I don't think that'll be enough. And I'm sad for money. I don't have enough money in Timonium. It's pretty sad. Yeah, I should have constructed mercenaries much diligently, and then tried to protect the dish hatches that I've captured, but yeah, I don't know, I just got distracted elsewhere. Controlling controlling the split groups of troops kinda had that kind of effect. I finally put the moon gorilla out of its misery, attacking the power node of the third set. I just don't care whether the sentinels are attacking on their backside. Yeah, and fixing the dish hatches can be sort of a Timonium sink. And they don't really offer any great defensive capabilities. I could probably use Holy Arc to sort of charge it up, but obviously I didn't think that deeply. I didn't think that through. Yeah, so here the Death Snakes are really close to my entrance. And Ares is doing all she could to help Giacomo. Maybe she's going to help Giacomo literally by... yeah, I noticed here that only one of two power nodes for the second set has been destroyed, so I was wondering why that happened. Why did that happen? And I realized that the power node here has just completely been bypassed by Giacomo, so he goes back in shame.
The third shield
to
wall
do
is
the
ready
job.
to fail. Quick, to the other side.
No, Giacomo, we have to destroy the second one first. Oh man, our Skull Eye. Yeah. And our entrance being under siege by the Death Snake. Fortunately, Death Snake doesn't have that great amount of siege abilities, so the entrance will stand for a while. And it's going to meet my mercenaries now. Finally, Giacomo is able to destroy the second set of power nodes, so the second barrier is down. Great, so we have only one more node to deal with. And not a lot of units left here from the beginning.
The second shield wall has collapsed. The Death God is almost exposed.
Yeah, he's exposed. He's probably cracking his 4 legs. And Ari meets some tough resistance on our way to the third node. Well, 3 Sun Idols, but yeah, constantly have to move and push my troops here. Great pathfinding, guys. But the alien forces are pretty strong against the Cuotl. And the Cuotl, the Sun Idols don't have that kind of a, rate of fire to defeat or just turn back the mass of troops now converging upon them. Yeah, these hatches, excuse me, that I have not taken over yet. Oh, the mercenaries were just defeated. I don't know how, but now my camp is lost. So by this time, I just say, well, let's just try to just go headlong into my objective and don't care about the dish hatches that more. All the barriers are about to be destroyed. Only Aerie has one left, I believe. This is going to be a pretty simple task here. And we are able to probably combine our forces before too long and be able to be much better positioned to take over or take back the dish hatches if possible and help Giacomo. So all the nodes are destroyed. Everything. For us, Czin is exposed. And we can travel to the center, finally.
All of the energy barriers are down!
That is the great ball of Czin.
To bring death to Czin.
Bring death to Death God. I just... I hope to accomplish... I hope to accomplish the total end of the world here, Czin. I don't think that was a question that is...
That did it! Now I will finish this!
Okay, so yeah, you can see from the north, southeastern side that Giacomo has arrived with his original army, fresh legs, Death Spear, Sun Idols. And it's funny, Giacomo is just heading straight along to face the, I guess, the army that God's device has brought out. I guess if we were to spend any more time or delay our progress, or Death God would have produced even more difficult armies. Yeah, I've used treachery right then and there to turn one sentinel unit toward our side to join the good guys. Kind of, provide some kind of distraction. So this is what I think that this device does. I think this device is able to transport the vast amount of Cuotl forces instantly to wherever trouble may be. So making it very basically subjugating the entire world under Cuotl's steps. And here is Moon Gorilla once more. I don't know why the scene didn't call out Moon Gorilla here for Giacomo to contend with. Because the Sun Idols, while they're powerful, but if they're surrounded like this, they're not going to be that effective. And Czin is like writing something on his iPad or something. That's pretty funny. Another treachery. The last time we used probably treachery. Very handy. Yeah, so the Sun Idols probably all gone, and again I need to push more troops to more effectively engage the enemy in the forefront. And Czin is now all alone. He's a lone Czin here, trying to go around the device here, try to buy more time, but Giacomo has found him, and Czin has no choice but to face him. But that spear is blocking his way. And you can see that Czin is trying to call something. I don't know whether they would work. And you can see the dish hatches, all of our dish hatches are... Look out, Death Spear. Okay, well, yeah, there's a Death Spear there that Czin's device has recalled or summoned. So yeah, so if you were to delay the action any longer, yeah, they'll have already brought up Moon Gorilla and what have you. But Czin is no more for this world, and the defeat of the Death God. And you can see that his health doesn't go down because of this cinematic. Yeah, just punch his face. Yeah, when nothing works, punch his face. That's the most direct way of humiliating and defeating your troop here. Whoa, Zin's face revealed. Oh man, there's some crazy judo throw there. Yeah, of course. Giacomo gets them, uses the trick once more. And use it against the doge once. And oh, what is this? Some kind of a weird alien race. Probably the real face of the Cuotl. Don't do it, Giacomo. Oh no. Where's all the fighting? And why are these two just standing? Where did Lenora come from? She didn't show her face like the whole campaign.
I've got a lot to do.
Oh, that's
A
so
city to
stupid.
rebuild. There's been too much fighting among the city-states. The Vinci
Still?
should be united. Giacomo gave us the chance
Okay, well,
to do
this
that.
is some sort of a realistic
But
ending
there's
that
still
they're
a
going
dozen
for.
minor lords out there all vying for power.
Her eyes are
And
kind
I
of
don't
weird. I
know
mean,
if I
why
can
is she
trust
blinking
any of
in only
them.
one eye? That's kind of
I
creepy.
should go. Do you have a place? You helped save
Where
the
is she
world,
looking at?
Ari. And they exiled you because you did it without permission.
She's still in exile, huh?
The king was angry that I disobeyed.
The king made
He
good
was
on his
angry that
word.
you made him look like a fool. You should be
Yeah,
leading
look at
the
her.
army,
She's
not
blinking in
him.
only one eye. That's so
Anywhere
crazy.
from Kakula?
Yeah. The
Cuotl.
Cuotl are adjusting.
Oh my gosh.
They've
Where-
got
where-
statues
where's
of
she looking
Giacomo
at?
too down there.
Her eyes are almost back of her head.
They call him the killer of false gods.
Little cough, guys. Yeah, well,
Come back
so
sometime.
that's very obvious.
Okay?
I will.
Okay, so they built this statue, Carlini, Giacomo, and Petrus, I believe, but they're all like already moss, like full of moss and kind of dilapidated. When did they build this statue? Really? Oh, okay, so victory. Cool, the victory screen. Yeah, I should just read it in a different voice or something. Yeah. To make it more final. With the destruction of the Cuotl transmitter. So it was a transmitter, yeah. It was like a big radar. We've seen some transmitter stuff in the neutral, as a neutral site. Like kind of spread all over the skirmish maps. Probably that's what the transmitter is for. Bringing like timonium and troops. So yeah, the destruction of the Cuotl transmitter, an uneasy peace has returned to Io. Though Giacomo succeeded in destroying the false gods, the Cuotl people are now fractured and struggling to cope with the incredible technology now grafted into their society. There are those who shun this power altogether, others who embrace it as a source of unity and strength, and still more who believe it is only a matter of time before the gods, false or no, return. The alien kingdom, now free from the curse of Sabu and its dark glass monsters, finds itself with the opportunity to regain its former glory. But with their Vinci and Cuotl neighbors in disarray, there are rumors spreading through the courts of Azar Harif, rumors of an even greater expansion. The Vinci, long divided and freshly blooded by the war between Venucci and Miana, have turned to a new leader, Lenora, the captain of Pirata, has pledged the creation of a unified Vinci people under the flag of New Miana. Lenora works to build alliances among the city-states, with each Vinci citizen answering to a single common law. The effort has not been well received among her Pirata lieutenants. I wonder why her subject should find that development of unity between the Vinci people disturbing. Perhaps they still have a lot of bad blood between especially between them and Venucci, but that's what you have to do when you are trying to unite the people, I guess. Trying to forgive and, but not forget, and try to build for a better future. But, I guess this ending probably is indicative of, war not being good for anything. Giacomo was able to succeed in his quest to avenge his brother and his people, and of course Carlini, but the end result is not as well it should be. It's not really hopeful. Some kind of coming war, maybe, possibly, between the alien and the other factions. And Kakula, not really, well, he's in the background with Yuntash, but only mentioned in passing. didn't have a cinematic coverage on what happened to him. Probably would have been the king of the Cuotl, but that is not explicitly mentioned. Yeah, so it's a bit of a bummer of an ending. I mean, I don't really expect this guy gets girl and those kind of cliched fantasy endings for a game that kind of introduced a lot of twists, including turning Giacomo into this half man, half monster thing. And I guess that was probably why that his fate was kind of sealed, that he'll have to sacrifice himself. Although he could easily have, turned to his troops and basically ordered them to do the deed, rather than him just sacrificing himself. I guess he was sick of it all, or something. Yeah, a lot of different things that I have questions about, including why the Vinci heroes didn't appear, like they did at the end of the Helen campaign. And yeah, so it's a good game. I love the game in certain aspects. The graphics are great, very picturesque. The units have full of animations, a lot of little details that make it really unique in terms of visual designs. The factions are quite different enough from each other, provide some unique gameplay options, and they're all viable. It's pretty fun. There are also multiplayer skirmish options. I don't know whether it is able to connect through service that Microsoft Game Studios have included. I don't think not, but I think you can still use LAN to play with the opponent. And then of course there is an option to create your missions and your campaigns if you so desire. I don't know whether there's any fan creations on the net. I've seen a couple, didn't download them or didn't try them. Maybe I try them later on to see how they play and how complete they have made it to be. Yeah. So this background cinematic you see has been made by Blur Studios. They're now very famous for creating these kind of cinematics, not only for this game but for Dawn of War games as well. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the credits, and with credits I'm going to end this video. Maybe I'm going to come with a couple of more updates with showing you guys of the skirmish map action with a couple of AIs, and also putting up some videos with music soundtrack that I found pretty interesting and rather good, with maybe concept art, montage or something like that. So you have something more to look forward to before I end this Let's Play series completely and start a new game. As for the new game, I don't know right now. I'm trying to decide between a few games. I'm still trying to continue to LP the games that I like and games that I find interesting. Certainly I found this game very interesting, very fun to play, enjoyable. 36 or so hours, and I hope that you did as well. Thank you so much if you have viewed my LP series till the end. I promise you I will improve my speaking ability and my video editing skills and provide you with even more enjoyment. I assure that the only way is to go up. Yeah, and yeah, thank you once again.
They made fun of me in school because I was a nerd. I used to make things, little dials and clockworks. They called me Giacomo the Four Eyes. And then my brother, oh, he's so special, he's so cool, and everybody loved him. Oh, he got the touchdown, all the chicks dug him, and then he died. And now I'm in charge, and the nerd's in charge, because I'm Giacomo, 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 in charge, Giacomo, Rising Legends, Legend Rising, Giacomo's got it, he's gonna take it, he's gonna take it, Giacomo, Rising Legends, Legend Rising, Giacomo, you gotta